Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Pretty Girls Mahjong Solitaire. Let's continue. I suppose. Interrupted data as below. You can play from the beginning. The interrupted data is cancelled when you choose no. Restart the game? Yes. So, that's interesting. And what's really weird is it saved from stage 3 round 1, which means I really hadn't made any progress at all. I failed this puzzle by playing less than perfectly, I suppose would be the only excuse or explanation that I can give or make, or even need to make. And we will hope to play better this time. The trick here is getting the tiles that are on top of other tiles earlier than others, because if there's any stacks left as your last choices, that's an automatic game over. If this is the same tile as the one below it, then you can't win. And that's really the only way you can lose in Mahjong Solitaire. It would seem like it's almost easier than playing Solitaire with your traditional deck of cards, playing cards, but it isn't. Actually, it's just about the same difficulty. Let's see. And we found out if we play fast enough and get the time limit to the max, well, it seems like it causes the character here to moan a little bit more, but they seem to do that anyways. So this is the one dangerous piece. Now, as long as I get rid of this one here, which I can't, game's over. I can't solve this. Somehow it happened again. It may very well be the case that you just can't win all of these, because that's happened twice now. And stage 1 and stage 2 were real easy, and all of a sudden it's gotten a lot more difficult. So maybe I need to implement a strict rule about not getting rid of any of the tiles that are on the lowest level. So we want a column of 2, a column of 2, and a column of 2 before anything else, before we take out any of those. Let's see. So I could make this match and this match, but I don't want to do it. And it would be a mistake, actually, because there was a match right there. And so I'm just going to have to be stricter. Like, I could take this 3 and this 3, but there's a 3 here. So that's the right move. That there. And that there. And we're at this point actually incapable of sticking to that rule, but it's still alright. Let's find a match here for this one, and find a match here for this one, and find a match here for that one, and can't get that one, so we'll do that, and this here. See, we have a problem though. We've already lost again, and I don't really feel like it was anything we did. I just don't think it's dealing us rounds we can succeed at. Let's continue. Here. Those don't even match. This and this. This and this. This and this. This and this. This there. This here. This here. So the game has been pretty lackluster on features, and we're seeing a similar case here where it's dealing us impossible to win deals. Because I was being really careful there and it didn't work. Theoretically, eventually we will run into a deal that we can win, but the fact that the game isn't calculating for that to begin with and handing us winnable deals is confusing. However, it does solve one question in my mind, whether they were specifically picking out levels per round, and like this piece would always start in the same place and all the pieces would start in the same place, and we now know that that cannot possibly be the case because I'm not that bad at matching tiles, and that's all this is. It's really not Mahjong at all. It's just using Mahjong tiles. Let's see. This and that, this and that, that and that, that and that. I think if I get rid of this, I've won. Because nothing's gonna stop me now. And you may notice that some of the tiles that are showing up here, oh, you get little fireworks when you move fast. Nice. New to the next round. You may have noticed that some tiles are not always getting used, like the blank tile was used that last time, but it wasn't used the last 2 times before then. Right. So, gotta keep a careful eye on this and not get overly ambitious. Just try to carefully eliminate everything. Well, there is a pick, otherwise the game should have told me no, and game over. But surprisingly few picks. The layout here is pretty difficult. There we go. Need to continue. Let's take this. Take that. Get rid of that. And do that one. And I'm not willing to make this match here right now. We can go ahead and get rid of this. We've lost because this piece is here. So we can go ahead and just finish this out, but there's no success here. All of a sudden it got really difficult. Maybe I should just play on easy mode. I don't know though. If you play on easy mode, you're also inviting the end of this series and the end of this game. This game's not going to be incredibly long to begin with anyways. I can already tell you that. So if you want to get your buck out of this, you're going to have to increase the difficulty, and that's certainly no way to make a video game these days. That's the old way of making video games in the 70s and 80s, to just make things impossibly difficult or literally impossible. It's not ideal at all. Let's see. Let's keep on moving. I'm gonna be very lucky if I succeed here. incredibly lucky. But I think I did it. Now she's saying baka baka, calling me an idiot in Japanese. So she is not happy that I'm succeeding, which I thought she was teaching me, but I guess she's battling me in some kind of timed solitaire version of solitaire. I suppose in a similar way, these don't match. The slight bend difference there. I suppose you can play solitaire competitively in similar ways. This tile set in particular is the hardest for me to memorize because it just you actually have to learn Japanese counting, Japanese numbers, and it's 1, 2, and 3 are kind of easy, and the rest are kind of hard. And then this green leaf, I've never seen that either. They've made some kind of weird custom tile set here that I'm unfamiliar with. Of course, maybe it just wasn't in the last Mahjong game I played, which it certainly has been a while too, so I may have just forgotten it. See, I don't know what we're doing to her, changing her outfit to something, but I'm not sure what it is. We've got all the wins here. Wait, those two match. Those two match. I think those are the wins. This one may not actually be a win. This may be just 0 over 1 of one of the other sets. But of course, if somebody grew up playing Mahjong and read Japanese or numbers at the very least, it would be easy. It would be easy as having the numbers 1, 2, 3 literally on the tiles, because that's what's happening here. I'm about to run out of time, so let's hurry up here. Let's see, I think I'm probably gonna lose if I'm not careful. Let's see. That, and we put her in a leotard swimsuit. Alright, so Rin puts her in a 2-piece swimsuit, and now we put her in a 1-piece swimsuit. And I guess in stage 4 we're gonna put her in another swimsuit at this rate. So there might be more tiles involved. That was a mistake. In fact, so much a mistake since I just started. Let's just retry to begin with. You can kind of feel that it was certainly thought at some point that they might have nudity in this game, and they chose not to do it, although it may also be that there's some patch out there that turns nudity on in this game. And because it was sold on Steam, and Steam's rules in the past have been constrictive on these things, that this is the censored version for Steam, and the patch will make it the uncensored version. Of course, if that's the reason you're getting this game, I think you're going to be sadly disappointed. I think you might be a little disappointed even with the solitaire, honestly. Depends on how much more, or some more modes unlock. I'm wasting time here. Need to find a match. We'll see it through, but it doesn't give me a great first impression as far as the variety of the solitaire layouts and how many levels there really are going to be to play. So this is a big tower, and it's kind of hard to see And you can't right click or zoom in or out with the middle button, and that would have helped a long time, a little bit. A long time ago, there was this OpenGL game. I don't remember if it was Solitaire or Mahjong Solitaire. I think it may have been Mahjong Solitaire, where you would just had all the tiles in this 3D space, and you could spin all around it, and you could put your own music in the game and your own backups. I don't remember the name of it, but for the longest time it was a really impressive game for free, or shareware or something like that, effectively free, that you could have, and you could put all kinds of customization on it. And whenever I think about a simplistic game like Solitaire, I think of that game and think to myself, that's the right way to do it. Have more features, have more abilities than anybody could possibly have ever even considered. Don't go cheap with it. Since the game itself is simplistic, you're given a lot of room to shine there and put your own twist on it. And arguably, depending on what you're looking for, throwing in girls, cartoon girls, is probably not adding anything new. It's probably just buying assets that are animated on the cheap and used in a dozen other games. It doesn't really add anything to it. Now, I will applaud them for the backgrounds. I'll applaud them for the music. The main menu music is quite definitely gets me in the spirit for a Chinese game. See, I have some pick, but I do not see it. There's no hint here. There's no help. And there's no fixing the fact that they are giving me bad deals. I've never seen this symbol either. They seem to just add some symbols here, and it feels like they're missing one of the sets too. I'm trying to think if the swastika was part of Mahjong, because that was an Indian symbol, of an Eastern symbol of good luck for a long time, hundreds and hundreds of years before the Nazis adopted it. But I don't think it is. At least not on any set I've ever seen. So that wouldn't be the reason. I don't think there were any objectionable symbols on there. And I just think they wanted to be a little bit different here. Snowflake. Weird. It's hard enough trying to figure out and memorize all the sets for them to turn around and change the sets on you in the tiles. It's pretty standard to my knowledge. In the same way that playing cards are pretty standard, you're gonna have hearts, kings, hearts, diamonds, clubs. Nobody's gonna go in there and create a new set and try to sell that to you like it's something new. The beauty of having a set number of pieces is being able to learn and teach games to people through vast distances and having that interconnection. Dominoes is another example of that. It's like everybody could probably learn dominoes without knowing any language as long as they can count. But so it would be silly if somebody started adding new domino pieces that had special properties or meant something different. In a lot of ways, Mahjong represents what China had to do and is very proud and rightfully proud of, which is the eventual unification, or at least mostly unification, of their language. Because, oh, now it tells me the move after time was up. During the Warring States eras of feudal China, Warring States era of China, they all spoke different languages and nobody could even understand each other, and that certainly is going to cause conflict. And unifying such a large land under one king in one system of rule was a very big task, and it's amazing they even accomplished it. Now, arguably, I could probably say that people in China still don't speak the same language because their dialects are so varied as they cross vast distances that it's too extreme to say it's all one language, but theoretically they all speak Cantonese. And then, of course, there was a much more modern attempt to unify all of the world under one language, and that created the fully created by one person language of Esperanto, which pretty much nobody except for enthusiasts of Esperanto speaks, which was a mix of Spanish and English and a little bit of French, I think. I don't think it actually took too much from any of the Eastern languages, which are by far the most extremely different from the Western languages. And I'm a little bit of a fan of German because you can always be more precise in German. It's not a beautiful language like French or anything like that, but yeah, you can just always add more to one long word and better describe it, which is nice. But I think there's probably a lack of subtlety there. Actually, as a project that didn't ever go anywhere or do anything, created the baseline of a language myself, and I guess I'm a slight buff in linguistics, but not really. And in the baseline of my language, there was roots to words, and so you could be subtle and say something like that round thing very quickly, but you could get more detailed and say that round plant thing that's red, that's a fruit of a tree, and then people would go, oh, that's a red delicious apple. In general conversation, you could probably just say the round thing in a room, and there would be dozens of round things in the room, but only one that was of any real context. And so I thought there was a nice system there. Of course, being like Esperanto and being created by only one person, it kind of needs a translation of all current words from all current languages into this new language, at least to as a very beginning spot to teach people, and people certainly aren't going to learn new languages. People barely learn the languages that they're speaking. Interesting. So, Stage 4 seems even harder than Stage 3. And we have Stage 1 and Stage 2 and Stage 3 with Risa. And we don't have any of these other girls unlocked. So, in this conversation and in this episode, I think we've learned that we're going to have to turn on easy mode starting next recording. It's just how it's gotta go. And here we have Risa in her different outfit, so can we select it here, and does it switch her here? And so I guess when we unlock Risa instead of Rin, we could have her here too. No moving the character around or anything. Yep. It's kind of pointless. Pointless to have all this in here. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. I hope that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.